This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio, where we broadcast live Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Guys, this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And if you want to join the phone call and you've been motivated to action, you can give myself and my co-host today, Mr. Bertrand McHenry, a call at 347-857-3958. Again, that number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Bertrand, sir.
Yes, sir.
I do appreciate you coming in and sitting in for our good friend, Mr. Urban Hughes.
It is my pleasure. It's either a downgrade or an upgrade, depending on how you look at it.
I'm going to go with the upgrade.
Okay, all right.
We're stepping up in life.
Me too, actually.
Well, Urban is out today. Urban is moderating another panel, I think, for the state of Texas up in Dallas.
It's highly sought after.
Oh, man, everybody's after him, and I'd like to take the credit for that.
I would, too.
So he's not here, so I think I'll do just that. But Bertrand is sitting in with us today. We're going to have some fun and kick some things around. But before we get started, tell me, how was your day today, sir?
I had a great day. Had a couple of appointments, and I was lining out. I just hired a new admin assistant, which is going to be a huge help to me in my business.
Wow.
And got her on the schedule and on my calendar, so she's handling a lot of the Eventbrite and managing my calendar.
You know what?
I need it.
I need that.
I mean, it is
just managing the calendar, returning emails, trying to keep up with social media, and that could be about 3/4 of your day if you're not careful.
I mean, you get to a point as an entrepreneur where you actually there's a bunch of things you're not going to do because they're not in your skill set, and because you're not going to do them, they weigh on you and they kind of hold you back in other areas. When I hired these two admin assistants, I feel like Superman all of a sudden.
Wait a second, you hired two?
I got two. I got one for Main Street and one for Referral Institute.
Really? Really? So, no, how was the interview process? I mean, did you have to go through a lot of people? Or?
Actually, you know what? In the business I'm in, they were referrals.
Really?
High-level referrals, so they were already vetted by the time they came to me, and I just said, this is what we'll be doing. Are you up for it? Yes, absolutely.
Wow, so they came highly referred, which makes it a lot easier.
One of my participants' daughter is admin assistant. No, you can never fire her.
That's right, man. It's like, I got a relationship going here with your parents.
Exactly.
And you suck as an employee, but I don't know how to let you go.
I don't know how to say that.
But anyway, it was one of the daughters. What about the other person?
The other person is another participant in one of my classes.
Okay.
And so I knew them very well. I knew their background, knew their character, so it was a no-brainer for me.
Wow. Now, I guess that so often when we do choose to hire, at least let me speak for myself. I've very rarely reached out to my network and asked, hey, does anybody know someone? I've always gone the traditional route where you put an ad somewhere and you might go through 50 or 60 applications before you find one person that you think fits. And I think the way that you're handling this is probably one of the better ways to do it. Start with your network. Huh?
I started with my network, and I didn't tell the father that I was going to interview his daughter. So I didn't want that. I didn't want to be compelled to hire her or not be able to fire her later, so I just hired her first.
Gotcha.
And then I've told him since. So now I'm free to do whatever I need to do with her. She's an employee. I'm not compelled to answer to him in any way.
Absolutely.
So it's perfect.
And and sometimes I think that would be the fear for some people is that because it's a relationship, maybe I should not go that deep as to hiring a family member of this person.
Right.
But I don't know. I think all things can work out.
Yeah, I wasn't concerned about the relationship so much as I knew that was her skill set, was admin and detail work.
Sure.
And I knew who she was, so I went ahead and just made the move.
Not bad, not bad. Well, I wish you luck on
Thanks.
that, and I'm certain it's going to make a difference in your workday.
Absolutely.
Well, I figured today that you and I could talk about on this show. Urban and I, we get emails from individuals all over the United States who are at different levels of their business. Some of them are very seasoned, as it were, in terms of their industry and what they do. And some people are looking to make that that leap or that jump, and they are, looking for the right time, to get out there in the entrepreneurial waters and swim for their lives. And so what I did is I took a few of the questions that have come down to us over the past and just thought that we'd talk about some of those today, and I'd love to get your opinion and see where you feel in terms of, being an entrepreneur, because you've been self-employed how long?
7 years.
7 years, and you regret it?
Not 1 minute.
Not one minute. Now, was it a leap of faith for you, or was it not so much because you'd already been in sales and you were used to, the commissions and the whole thing? Because I think sales is probably the first transition into a entrepreneurial type role, because you create for yourself basically in a sales position.
Right. I think I was an entrepreneur 7 years this time. I've been an entrepreneur before. And re-employed before.
Okay.
Like you. I mean, similar to your story, not exactly the same.
I started out and things didn't go well, and I ran back in and ducked for cover and got me a job for a little while, and then I jumped out there again to make it work. So,
to answer your question, I don't think it was a leap of faith. I think it's what I always wanted to do and wanted to continue doing. So it was as fast as I could get back to the starting line was how fast I was moving there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about some of these questions that we've gotten over the past, and we can be as elaborative as we want, because there's no Irv here today, so he can't tell us what to do.
That's right. Thank goodness.
Now, the first one that I came up with is the name of my business important? We did a show, Irv and I want to say almost about a year ago, and we talked about the naming of your business should be something that you take some time to do. And some people say, what's in a name, but our feeling was a little different in that regard. But I'd like to know, from where you sit, how important do you believe the name of your business is to your success?
I think the name of my business is important. But then you look at Mattress Mac, and Gallery Furniture is just a name.
Yeah.
And the logo was, for the longest time, it was a nothing. He just blasted the airwaves. If you remember, 1980.
Oh yeah, he was on Paul Bosch Mid-South Wrestling.
Yes, every 5 minutes it was a Gallery Furniture. It looked like he made those videos himself in his house. That's how low quality they were. But
not much has changed.
Not much. Well, but he did it so often, he became a household, and he just muscled his way through that, and so the name became the name. And now it's just you can't separate it from furniture in Houston.
No, that's right. And for those of you who may be outside of the Houston market, Gallery Furniture is it's a nice furniture store. His name is Jim McInville. Huge success story. He started out with this huge tent off the side of the freeway where he had furniture in there. And I remember that one day as a kid, we went to Gallery Furniture, and it was raining. And he had a group of people just running around all over the tent, moving furniture out the way so that it didn't get wet.
Really?
And now he's got this great warehouse, if you will. I don't even want to call that. It's a showroom.
It's a huge showroom.
It's a gallery.
Philanthropic all over the country. He comes to people's aid when disasters hit. He gives away furniture every year. The guy has a huge success story and really embedded himself in the Houston business community and kind of somewhat around the nation. He's made big friends. He's made movies with Chuck Norris. He's produced Chuck Norris movies before. Yeah. So he's done a lot of, but the point is for me is that Gallery Furniture, I don't know how much thought he gave to it. I think he is such a trigger puller.
Yeah.
He just makes moves quickly. Like, I can imagine him sitting around going, I don't want to be bothered with the name. Let's just call it Gallery Furniture and move on with it.
And let's get out of here and let's go sell some furniture. And that could be right, and that can work.
It can work.
But my perspective on everything is that you should give some thought to your name. Some thought should go into what you do. Now, I'm interested to know then, if I'm naming my company something, should I include in my name what I do? Like Gallery Furniture, you know what business he's in. But there are times when I've seen entrepreneurs who have named their company name, and it may be called the Ursa Gray Corporation.
And what is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on, should my name also encompass what it is that I do?
I think it should either encompass or be a merging of two words that kind of points to what you do, so people can get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think that is important to me. And I agree with you. I think some thought needs to go into the name unless you're branding yourself, your own name.
Right.
It's, teamwork ready. I listened to the presentation some of your people gave about the logos. Some thought went into that. Companies spend millions of dollars finding names and logos.
Right, right. And I think that you would do yourself good to give some thought to it, as well as come up with a few names that you absolutely love, and then maybe kick that around with your employees, kick the logos around with other business people that you trust. And if you have a mentor, let them take a look at those names. And one of the things that I would do is I would ask these individuals, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you either see my logo or see my logo and read my company name? How does it make you feel? What comes to mind? And I think you should take those things into account as you choose what name that you're going to select for yourself.
I agree. I think also get a focus group together, 5, 6, 7 people.
Yes.
And a whiteboard and do some brainstorming.
Absolutely. We're going to come back and we're going to tie this point off when we come out of the break. Our guest today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry. He's sitting in for our good friend, Mr. Irvin Hughes, who is out of town. He's moderating another panel, I think, for the state of Texas up in the big city of Dallas. So, Irvin, you are being missed, and we wish you safe travels as you come back to the city. Guys, this segment has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine, and it is the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. It's about the Houston footprint, the Houston market as it relates to self-employed people. However, if you're not in the Houston area, we still think that you should go online and get a free copy of the magazine sent to your email inbox each and every month, because we have engaging articles and interviews from individuals who are doing well in their business, and we believe that that information that they espouse on the pages of Small Business Today magazine will help you in your endeavor as well. If you'd like to get a free copy, you can go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com, put your information in, we'll send one to you each and every month. More in a moment with McHenry and Cruz, or Cruz and McHenry.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting at a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? And my answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. And if you're watching us at www.cruiseandhughes.com, you'll notice that there is no Hughes today. Mr. Irvin is out on assignment, if we will. And we have Bertrand McHenry in the studio with us today. And Bertrand, I'd love for you to give your office information, the company that you're with.
Yes, Referral Institute of Houston. My phone number is 281-401-9852, and you can find us at www.facebook.com/Referral Institute Houston, or you can find us at our website at referralinstitutehouston.com.
And just a quick synopsis of what you do.
We teach business owners how to develop entire customized referral marketing strategies that lead to a steady stream of personally recommended business.
And I'm certain that you probably need that, and you should contact Bertrand McHenry. Now, Bertrand and I decided that today we would sort of take on some business questions that Irvin and I have been emailed over the past. I sort of went through some emails and pulled out some questions, and you have not seen this list prior to today. And so I am just throwing things at you like darts at a dartboard.
Right.
And because you have such a strong level of business acumen, I'm certain that you're going to be able to give some good advice as we throw these things. Now, we were talking about in the last segment, is the name of my business important? And one of the points that I did want to add to that, Bertrand, was do you believe that a person should get the web address or the web URL to the name that they have? Do you think that's important?
I think it's important. I do think it's important because people are searching all the time. If your name is, this is just my opinion, I think it needs to be somewhat congruent if you can find it. Sometimes you can't find it.
It's very, very tough to find. And sometimes people just give up. And you know, their name will be one thing and their web address will be something altogether different.
And it's a little confusing for me unless you can find the initials that match the name of your company.
Right.
Sometimes you can do that, or some mix of that. I think is important.
And the reason that I say that, because myself personally, if I know the name of your company, but I can't find your telephone number, your business card, I can't remember where you're located, what do you think is the first thing I'm going to put into Google?
Your name?
The name of that business. And I'm going to look, and Google is going to search it, and it's going to find something that's very close to that URL.
It might not be you.
And it may not be you.
Right.
And then I'm going to check, you know, with them, and imagine if that is another business that's close to your area, or if you do business nationwide, and let's say it's whitetshirts.com, and White T-Shirts is the name of your business. Well, if that URL doesn't match you, I may just decide to do business with this other guy.
We're going to take the path of least resistance, and if they're already there, you're just going to go ahead and use them. I think that's absolutely right. And when you talk to graphic designers and people who design logos and websites, they always talk about your cards need to look like your website, need to look like your banner, need to look like your car wrap. There's some congruency all around with that stuff.
Well, and when you think about some of the top level companies that we all are familiar with the name, I mean, when you see a McDonald's, or you see a Microsoft or something of that nature, you'll notice that their colors, their schemes, the things that they do are just synonymous across the board. Everything that they do, so that when you see, you know, you can see just the red and gold and almost expect that that's going to be McDonald's.
I mean, it's almost embedded in our consciousness. You see a French fry box that just has the arches on it. You know exactly what that is.
You know exactly who it is.
And so everything's like that with them, and I think it is important.
Now, some of you may say that, well, you know, I don't have the budget to do that type of branding, and that's totally okay. But on the budget that you do have, it doesn't cost you very much if you know that you're going to do business cards, if you know that you're going to do some flyers, if you know that you're going to do some 3x5 cards, or, you know, some brochures. Just make sure that everything that you do is consistent with your logo, your color schemes, and even on that small scale, you can start some type of branding for who you are and what you do.
I totally agree with that. I don't think money is the main issue.
Right.
I mean, I know big companies like Coca-Cola probably spent millions to find their logos, to find their brands, and they probably redo them every 20 years or so and tweak them, and that costs a lot of money. For us, you can spend $300 and get with a graphic designer, or get with 99designs.com that can help you a lot, that will have people competing for that brand that you're trying to
That's
develop.
right.
And it doesn't cost that much money, but I think you have to do it.
You know, I have a cousin who started a cupcake company, and I believe that she used 99 designs, and I was quite impressed with the designs that she was, kicking them back to me to just sort of get some input, and I was impressed with the work that was going into, these people who are developing her logo in hopes of winning that job.
It's amazing what has happened in the internet. It's democratized everything.
Yes,
so
it
with
has.
99 designs, you can go in there and put $300 in a pot somewhere and say, this is my company, this is what I want to do, and hundreds of designers from around the world would compete for that $300.
That is correct.
And you can get hundreds of designs and hundreds of tweaks on those designs.
Man, I mean, it opens you up to, again, you're not going to be McDonald's. You don't have the budget for that, but you got so many different people working on this thing. You're not depending on one person who sees things through just their set of eyes. You may have 4 or 5 or 6 different designers working on it.
John, I mean, I think it's even more important for us as small business owners to fight through there's so many people out there doing business. We need a brand
that is
congruent and stands out. So we need to spend some time and effort doing that.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, the second question: is it possible? Now, I did a show once, and I'm sort of paraphrasing these questions. I made a comment that it's possible for a person to get more than 24 hours in a day. One of the things that used to drive me bananas was small business people saying, I need more than 24 hours, or I wish I had more than 24 hours in a day. And I'm thinking, well, you got the same 24 hours that Bill Gates has, that Warren Buffett has. What is the difference between what they're doing and what you're doing? And the point that I was making, and this person sent me an email, and they said, hey, I don't understand what you meant. How is it that you can get more than 24 hours in a day? Well, the only way that you can get more than 24 hours in a day is by doing what? You have to duplicate yourself, which means that you have to bring on people. You have to bring on not only just people, but qualified people. When I was in the mortgage banking business, I leveraged myself 137 times. I had 137 salespeople that were out there doing the same pitch, passing out the same card. So essentially, I got 137 times more done in the average day than one salesperson in an 8-hour workday.
Right.
Or 10. So when you multiplied my 8-hour workday, it's multiplied times 137.
And you trained those people.
Trained them very well.
Yeah. So they knew they were representing you.
Absolutely.
It's the leaky bucket theory. You're the rain, and you were pouring right into them, and they weren't training someone else who was training someone else who was training someone else.
That's right.
It was you training them the way you needed them to be trained.
And even I think we started out the show talking about that you just brought on a couple people.
I was going to say, I just doubled my hours in my day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and it feels like that too. I'm getting more done. I'm getting a lot of stuff done that I was not going to get done on my own.
Right. When you start looking at your personal plan, and I'm the type of person I like to plan my day, I like to plan my week, and when I'll come in with a laundry list of things on Monday, and nothing, and I probably should save this for Friday, Stephen, but nothing angers me more. I'm going to have to make that a soapbox.
Is that a soapbox?
Yeah, when I get to Friday, and I've not accomplished everything that I've set out to accomplish, and then especially makes me angry when I realize, and I'll go back over the list and say, you know what, I could have put Brenda on that, I could have gave this to Frank, I could have, and I could have gotten all of this done. Guys, if you want to get the secret to getting more than 24 hours in a day, you must leverage yourself. You got to bring on hands. You got to bring on qualified people who get behind what you're doing. They work to a level that's consistent with who you are and how you work, and you will see your workday be leveraged, so you can actually get 100 hours out of an 8-hour workday.
I believe that. Absolutely. And it's so important for entrepreneurs. This is what we don't do. A lot of entrepreneurs think, I need to bury myself in the cave and go set about the business of building my business by myself. And it's so hard to always be swinging for the fences alone. When you hire somebody, when you bring somebody in that's qualified, that can take on some of that load, man, you feel like 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Oh, my goodness. And we want to put emphasis on qualified people.
Yeah,
I mean, you bringing in someone that's substandard is only going to be a headache in the long run.
It is.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to them. Bring someone in that has quality, and you're going to see, your schedule open up. It's going to make you more creative. It's going to give you more time to worry about those essential matters that you need to worry about as the entrepreneur and the head of your organization.
I totally agree with that, 100%.
Now, before we go into the break, why don't we go ahead and tee up the next one? And the next one was in terms of website. Instead of me getting into the entire question, the person basically wanted to know, what if the type of business that I'm in, most people are not finding me on the web? How much money should I be investing in my website? And I don't know. Can you think of anything that you would not go to the website for, or you would not go to see what type of, what the customers of this particular business are saying? I can't think of anything.
Isn't that funny how the habits have changed?
Absolutely.
You go to that website it's like Google is our annex for our brain.
Everything starts there.
Exactly.
So I can't think of anything. So we're going to tee that up when we come back out of the break. Guys, our good friend, Mr. Urban Hughes, is not with us today. He is on assignment. I like saying that. But I got Bertrand McHenry here. He and I are talking about some of the top questions that we've been asked from small business people. We're going down the list, so please stick around. There's a lot more where this is coming from. This segment has been brought to you by our good friend over at Sales Nexus, Mr. Craig Klein. I love Craig to death. Craig has a phenomenal product. We use it here. If you'd like to see what having a good quality CRM can do for your business and do for your sales team, definitely take the time to go to salesnexus.com. That's Nexus, Nexus, salesnexus.com, and he'll even allow you to kick the tires and try it out for free for 30 days. More in a moment with Bertrand McHenry and Sean Cruz right here on Cruz and Hughes. Stay tuned.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee News. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to the basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. I have my good friend in studio with me, Mr. Bertrand McHenry. He's sitting in for Irvin Hughes today. We're talking about some of the top questions that Irvin and I have received in email over the past couple months from small business people who are just looking for some advice. And you know, we reply to all of the emails that we get. If you ever want to email Irvin, feel free to do so. You can email him at Irvin, and his name is spelled E as in Eric, ERVIN, at cruzandhughes.com, or you could always email me at john@cruzandhughes.com. And one of the emails that I'd gotten basically asked, you know, how much money or time should I invest in my website when I'm tracking most of my business and most of it does not come through my website? You know, it comes through other areas. Now, my response to that is, well, first of all, even if your business is coming from, let's take you and I, for example.
Okay.
If you encouraged me to use someone's service, say it's Stephen K. John, you should really do a show. You should talk to this great producer that I know. His name is Stephen K. And although when I talk to Stephen, I'm going to tell him that Bertrand McHenry referred me, but I'm going to go to his website and do as much investigation on him prior to me making a phone call.
True.
So my answer to the young lady who sent this email, I said, well, you really don't know how often someone is going out on the web and looking for information. Just because you get a referral from someone else, your website should play an important role in speaking to your salesmanship, your dependability as a business, the type of product that you serve, or product or service that you provide. So your website is just part of that marketing complex that helps you attract new customers.
That's such a good word that you use, the marketing complex, because there's so many
There's
pieces.
a lot of things.
There's a lot of things. There's no one silver bullet. It's a lot of things at once all the time,
right,
and doing the same things over and over. But I do think SEO optimization is important. How much money do you spend? I don't know. It depends on you. It's like branding and name, but you got to spend something on it as well as being out there networking, because I've gotten both. I've had people meet people at a networking event, talk to them. Next time I see them, they said, I went and Googled you. I had no idea you did everything you did. That's unbelievable.
Right.
And then I've had people find me just by doing searches and finding my website and sending me an email. So you got to do all of it. How much? I don't know. What can you spend? What's your budget?
That's a good point. You know, and I did not answer her in regards to, and I may have to go in and tailor that a little bit, but I didn't answer her in terms of how much you should spend. But I don't know. What is your budget? Are you looking to get more web traffic? You know, but the thing is, the bottom line is that even if you think that your business is not coming from your website, believe me, people are going to check you out. Your website is going to play an important role in someone making the decision to use you. You may as well spend some time, effort, and coin to develop your web presence. Get your web act together, and I don't think that it hurts you in any way.
No, it doesn't hurt you, and it can only help, because I'm telling you, Google not only owns the playing field, they built the stadium.
No doubt.
So they own,
and they sell the tickets and the concessions and
everything. People don't realize that. A lot of talk about Facebook, but Google is such a huge engine for people. You know, YouTube, Google owns. So if you're doing video,
which is, I think, and if I'm not mistaken, Stephen, you may want to correct me on this, but I think YouTube is the second most popular search engine out on the planet. So then it goes to you should probably be doing some video about yourself.
Absolutely, that's on our list of things to do this year, is to create a YouTube channel and some Ustream type information sources for what I do and Craig does. I know you guys are doing it right here, right now.
Every day, what we do here goes on our YouTube channel and Ustream.
And it's critical, because people would rather watch a video than read an article.
Yes, that's true.
So I'm hearing more and more, you know, go to YouTube, find a tutorial on how to use your Samsung. Find a tutorial on how to tie a bow tie.
Let me tell you something. I use YouTube for if I'm going to change oil in a car, and I'm not a mechanic, there's a YouTube tutorial. I mean, sometimes I'll pull something out of the box, a piece of an electronic equipment, and instead of me reading the directions, I go straight to YouTube and let somebody tell me how to use it.
I know you guys make fun of this, but I have a big green egg. It's a big smoker, and it came with a book. But I haven't used the book to learn how to cook anything. I've gone to YouTube and done everything. YouTube, big green egg cooking.
And everything
pops up.
You got 50 guys. They'll tell you how to smoke a squirrel.
Exactly. Hey, that's what I smoke.
Well, I tell you what, you keep or bragging about this egg. I need to come over and see what it can do.
The invitation's open.
All right. So the bottom line and the consensus here is that you should get your web act together, spend some time, spend some money, and make sure that you have a presence out there, and don't forsake video. And I think we'll get back to that. Now, the next question that I have, I'm going to tee this up for you, is being different from my competition really that important to my business success?
What do you mean by different?
Well, to bring into context, the young man who sent me this email basically talked about that he's in an industry that is just like everything else, and he was an attorney. So his thing is that how different can I be in the body of law that I practice? You know, I mean, I'm just like everybody else. I go to court. I adhere to the same laws. I do everything that everybody else. So how can I be different, first of all, in such a directed line of work? And how important is it for me to be different?
Does he want to be different? Is that his question?
I think that his question was more so tailored to give me some ideas on how I can be different, because I don't know. And then on top of that, is it really that important?
I think it's important to stand out.
I do too.
I think it's important to stand out, whatever that means, if it's how you dress, if it's how you act, if it's how you present. But it is important to be an individual and be unique in the marketplace. That's so true. So many people are out there doing the same thing.
That's right.
They're copying each other. Just today, we're talking about the YouTube channel over at Craig's office at Sales Nexus. We're turning his warehouse into a YouTube studio.
Really?
So I'm looking at these stark white backgrounds because that's what Apple did. That's what a lot of the YouTube gurus are doing right now. And he's got a photographer there who has a black screen. And Craig's saying, I don't really care. I don't know how we're going to do this. And the guy's talking about the black screen. And I said, bing, you know what? Everyone's doing white. Let's just do black. We can't ruin ourselves. Let's just try it and be different for a while and see what happens.
So what are you going to do? You're going to put it on all white to be opposite of what?
No, if you move far enough back from the black screen and set the lighting right, you'll separate from the background.
Okay.
And it won't be a problem.
Really? I like that, though.
Yeah.
And that is something different. You know, and you bring about a good point. There has to be somewhere in your business that you can be different. Again, in my business, it was being impeccably dressed. There was a great book that I read, and it was written by the founder of Black Enterprise Magazine, Mr. Earl Graves, and the name of the book is called How to Succeed in America Without Being White. And he wrote that book about his success, how he was at one point he was the largest Pepsi. He owned the largest Pepsi bottling plant in the United States, and he's done all these other fabulous things outside of just running that magazine. But he talked about that one of the things that separated him and that made him stand out is, number one, he wears these 1870s sideburns that he's had since, his magazine launched in like 1970.
Right.
Wears them to this day, and he was always impeccably dressed. He said that he never went to the office not being in coat and tie. He said if he was on his way to the golf course, he did not swing by the office to make calls, to meet a client. He said that his what would it be called? Your
routine?
Your routine, but what you're known for,
your brand.
Your brand.
Yeah.
His brand became that he was always dressed for business in the boardroom. And I read this as a young professional, I want to say in maybe 1996 or 97 or something like that. And that was something, I was in the mortgage business. Everybody and their mama was in the mortgage business.
Right.
But the officers that worked for me, and the way we handled our business was we were always impeccably dressed. And that was the thing that I have just stood by, and it became my brand. And so much so that when I would be seen in the streets by some people that I knew from a professional setting, they didn't even know it was me because they were so accustomed.
Oh.
I mean, I had been standing in line at a fast food place behind people that I knew, and they would not say
on
a
a
word.
Saturday.
On a Saturday.
In your grungies.
On my, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I've been out there changing oil, you know,
Right.
but they didn't know it was me. But I think that you should become known for something. And even in the boring line of work that law may be, you know, I don't know because I'm not an attorney, but there's somewhere in your business that you can say, you know what,
shine.
I'm going to stand apart from our competition in this area.
I think so. And you just got to get creative. Again, pull a focus group together. How can I separate myself from the masses in this business? Help brainstorm, dress, bow tie, the type of law, seminars. What can I do to latch myself on that people can know me for this?
Yeah, because when you think about it, I mean, in any industry, there are a couple names that stand out.
Right.
And so why don't you pick out who those names are and then figure out what are they doing differently? What is it that attracts you to them? What do you think it is that attracts the masses to them, as well as that focus group? I love that idea.
And, you know, some people people who get hired aren't necessarily the best. They're just the best well-known.
Absolutely. You know how many times I've always sat in the back of the room and said, I can 10 times better than this guy. Exactly. But he's the one that's up there doing it while I'm in the back saying, I'm 10 times better than this guy.
They're pulling the trigger.
Well, we're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about some more of these questions. Bertrand and I are talking about today some of the top questions that we've been asked by small business people. These are people that are at various stages of the business. We hope that you're getting something out of this. Guys, we always encourage you to go to our website, put your information in, and Irv and I would love to communicate with you. That's www.cruzandhughes.com. And more in a moment with Bertrand McHenry and John Cruz. Don't go away.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the deuce up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
we've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disastrous, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Bertrand, McHenry, and myself are talking about some of the top questions that we've been asked by small business people, things that we can get into on the air, because some of the stuff that, you know, I'm always a little amazed at how naked entrepreneurs will get when they feel like they need help, which I like. Because, you know, the way I look at it is if you truly need help and someone is going to extend that help to you, I got to know exactly where you are. It's kind of like you don't go to your doctor and then lie to them about where the pain is.
Right.
They'll end up cutting a kidney out that wasn't hurting, you know?
Right.
So if you really want the help, you do have to be very open, candid.
Yep.
So I really appreciate that. So we picked a few things that we feel are okay to talk about, and we're not naming names. So if you do have any questions or insight, and we know the answer, believe me, send us an email. We'd love to share with you. We talked lastly about being different from your competition. Let's get down to number 5. What is the best way for me to increase sales? I had someone who felt like that they weren't a salesperson, but they knew that sales was the lifeblood of their business, so they had to do something to increase sales, and they were just asking, you know, what are some ways that I can increase sales? And I went through a series of questions asking them about what they do, and that's really not relevant now. But one of the first things that I encouraged them to do, well, one of the first questions I asked was, what type of marketing campaign do you have in place to your previous customers? And they said nothing.
Wow.
So
for
every business that you're in, you should have a marketing campaign for customers or past customers, people that you've done business with, people that already know and can speak on the type of professional that you are. If you're overlooking that, you're spending 2 to 3 times more to build new relationships than you have to by just marketing to old relationships. So there should be something that exists in your company whereby you're staying in front of your past customers and you're constantly staying in contact with them, offering them specials for being past customers. And believe me, let me also say this before I let you speak on this, Bertrand, because I know you got something that you want to chime in with. Don't do something for past customers and then do the same thing for everybody else out. I know a guy who owns a business, and he ran a printing special that he said was only for past customers. And one of his customers found him advertising the same special to the public, and he ended up losing a customer that he'd had for a couple years because, you know, they just didn't feel special anymore. They just felt like that you're, you know, excuse the term, but you're just a whore for business. You know, if you're going to say that this is something that I only do for the people who have taken the time to do business with me and who believed in us, make sure that that deal is just for them.
Agreed. And I think you're absolutely right. Everyone wants to feel like they're part of the club.
Don't we
Everyone
all?
wants to be on the inner circle. And if you've made it to the inner circle, offer the specials for those people, because those people will bring people in. Because you're trying to create community with the people that you've already sold and served, and these may be previous customers or current customers. You want those people to be so excited about what you're doing, they're bringing people in droves to you.
Absolutely.
So yes, absolutely, give the farm away. Not really, but give some deep specials to your current and previous customers.
I believe that you have to do that. Making them feel special, making them feel like, as you put it, that they're in the club will motivate them. And here's the thing. I would even offer that if you're not in need of the business and you're a past customer and I give you a special that I'm not giving to the public, I would let that be transferable, meaning that you can find someone who means something to you and pass that special on to them. And I'd let them know that without that, you know, they don't get it if they just walk in the door.
Right.
Because nothing is worse than saying, you know what, this is today's price, and then I come back 3 days from now and you're either selling the same price or it's dropped even.
Right.
You know, so make sure that it's distinctive. Make it something that you can stand behind and stick to. But also make it transferable, because if I'm in a business, if you only come to me once every 3 or 4 months and you're just not ready for my product or service, hey, give it to somebody who means something to you. Give it to one of your customers and I'll honor that price.
You know, that's so true. Don't get stuck on the rule
Right.
Get
Be
stuck
flexible.
on the customer. Be flexible. Let's get think about the client. What's the end game here? What's the big picture? I want a client for long term.
Absolutely.
And I want this person, if you could do the metrics, find out how many clients a client brings in a year or 5 years.
That's right.
You want to keep them for that long. So what do you have to do for that? That's the kind of things you need to think about.
I don't know. It's hard to quantify that. I think it's also something that you can't buy. That loyalty when someone is coming to you month after month or year over year, and you have to reward that at some point. You have to make that person feel special, and you have to show your appreciation. And generally, you do it by incentivizing that business. You give them a great price. You do something a little different for them that you're not doing for everybody else to show them, hey, I really do appreciate you.
People love to feel like they're part of the team, part of the inner circle, part of the family. And a lot of successful mom and pop businesses do great at that because they're small enough for people to feel like they're in the know. They're in the inner circle.
Right.
I know a guy.
I know a guy. Yeah, who knows a guy?
Restaurant owners are great at the good ones will walk around the tables and pat people on the back who they know are regular customers to make them feel like, especially if they have a crowd. When I'm at my favorite restaurant and I've got guests and the owner comes over and talks to me, I feel like I just made it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And when that happens, I'm impressed generally.
Right.
I'm like, hey, well, the owner. That's impressive. You come here enough, you spend enough money, they respect you for your business. I like that.
I'm a made guy.
You're a made guy. Making what? I don't know, but he's a made guy.
Right.
Now, surveys.
All right.
Now, I don't know how many people do this, but it should be incorporated in your marketing as you market to previous customers. You should survey your customers from time, and you can do cheap surveys through SurveyMonkey, but you want to find out where are the areas that you can improve upon. Now, I had one young lady who told me that in her business, the problem with surveys is that they're not coming back to her. So she's not getting the data, which isn't good. I mean, when you send that survey, you want to get some feedback. My suggestion to her was to incentivize the survey.
Right.
Meaning that if you respond, you get something. You get half off. You get, 2 for 1. You get something. So if you're using surveys and the surveys aren't coming back, well, that's not really a good thing. Either your service just was not above and beyond enough to make me want to fill out a survey, but you can incentivize that survey, and there's a greater chance that you'll get a response.
Or they don't have the relationship that they thought they had with the client base, and you need to go back and do some work on that. I don't know what the diagnosis would be without talking to that person, but my first guess would be, like you said, incentivize it. Find some way, a contest or something, a discount or coupon or something that will entice him to go ahead and fill out that survey. And they don't have to be long. They can take 5 minutes.
Absolutely. I mean, and you may decide to, iPads are cheap. But if you say that, we're giving an iPad away on this date, and all it takes to win is for you to submit the survey back, I would submit it. I could always use an extra iPad.
And you're asking on the survey, how's the customer service? Was the information in my seminar good and useful? What would you like to see in the future? Things like that.
Would you come back? And most importantly, would you refer me? And when someone answers no, that's a phone call that you need to make.
No doubt.
Yeah, and look at those customers as opportunities. If someone gives you a negative comment, you should be calling personally as the owner all of your negative comments, because that's an opportunity for you to build a bridge between you and that person. Do something special, clean up your act, do something, have them come back in, and maybe at no charge, or let me comp you for dinner. I'd love for you to come back in and see how we've changed things.
Right.
It's an excellent way for you to build a customer for life. Guys, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. The Hughes part of this is not in the studio today. He's on assignment out in Dallas. He's doing something for the state of Texas. I think he's moderating another panel. We do have our good friend, Mr. Bertrand McHenry of the Referral Institute, in studio with us. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to tee up another question or two, and stick around. I think you don't want to miss this.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
All right, welcome back to the show. I have my good friend, Mr. Bertrand McHenry of the Referral Institute here in the studio with us. If you'd like to connect with Bertrand and figure out how to get referrals for life, Bertrand, how can they get in touch with you?
They can call me at 281-401-9852. They can find us on the web at referralinstitutehouston.com. Interesting enough, John, my website address is the same as my company name.
I love it. I love it. This is a man that watches this show. Anyway, we don't have very much time, but I had to throw this question. I didn't get a chance to go through them all, but this is one I know that you can definitely relate to. What are some ways that I can build credibility with my clients as well as with my colleagues and become known as an expert?
Man, that is great. Credibility with your clients. Speak as often as possible. Take the front of the room any chance you get. I know you and I have talked about this before, and you said people will say, I'm not ready. I can't give a speech. And you're like, man, I will jump at the front of the room anytime there's an opportunity, even if I'm not ready, because I've got enough subjects in my heart, in my database, that I can speak off the cuff if I need to and have it be good. Anytime you take the front of the room, for whatever reason, everyone else perceives you as the expert. When you're teaching, you are the professor. And nothing's better than taking the front of the room and teaching to make you look like the expert.
What do you think about a blog or a book?
Absolutely. For the same reason, you'd be doing a blog and or a book. And you can even write ebooks that you can download for free off of your website.
There's a website that you gave us once that I'd love for you to share that.
Lulu.com, Lulu.com. And, Errol Allen, our friend, the customer service expert, has written a brand new book, The 7 Keys to Great Customer Service, and he wrote it using Lulu.com. You can literally write a book for nothing and then order them as needed.
Hey, you heard it from the best, Mr. Bertrand McHenry. Guys, there are ways for you to make yourself the expert Listen to Bertrand, follow his advice, get a blog, get a book, speak as often as you possibly can. Bertrand, I appreciate you for coming in.
This is great.
You going to come hang out with us tomorrow?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow as well. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the magazine that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. We put engaging stories in there as well as business success news that can help you, empower you in your small business. Until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else, be in action. And we'll see you tomorrow.